Today we are going to go over some frequently asked questions or commonly searched topics pertaining to van life. So let's get into it. Summer isn't over until September 22nd, but sometimes there is a bit of chill in the air. I'm fall up top, summer down below. Anyhow, all right, so I used handy dandy chat GPT, soon to be AI overlords, and I said top YouTube searches for van life. Here's what came up: van life tour. I have 2 van life tours. I'll link them in the description. Van life solo female. I can't really speak on that because I live in my van with my husband and my dog Gunner, but he's at work during the day. So during the day, I'm solo female van life. And you definitely have to have one eye open. Then van life couple. Okay, yeah, well, that's what I do. But a lot of the van life couples can be super cringe. Can we be honest about that? Van life cooking. All right, we'll get into that. I'll link some videos in the description as well. But I have a knockoff Coleman single burner that screws onto the green propane canisters. It's an Ozark Trails one. And that was super cheap. I think it was like under 20 bucks. And you get the base that you put the green canister in. And then you get the burner you screw on top. Now, those don't have a wind guard. But those are nice if you're in a more confined area. As long as you crack a window, you can definitely cook in your van. But I prefer not to if I don't have to. I also have a Coleman's 2-burner stove with wind guards. It kind of opens up like a suitcase. That thing is awesome. I love that when I'm boiling something or I need to make multiple things at once. But that's a little bit big to use inside the van, so we normally use that when we have the camping table and we're camping. Oh, well, there's a lot of free charcoal grills around here. So there's a lot of free charcoal grills along the Blue Ridge Parkway, at public parks. So we do take advantage of those as well. Van life with pets. Well, I do have a larger dog. And, you know, it is a great security system, and he's an amazing companion, and he's been with us for over 8 years. And, you know, we're not planning on doing van life. If you're planning on doing van life, really consider if you already have a pet. And not all pets are going to acclimate to van life. It might not work out, you know. But Gunner took to it. He loves the van. It's his home. He's protective over it. He loves being outside. He gets to go with us everywhere. He's looking at me smiling right now. Here's the thing. If you are not in dog-friendly places, you're pretty much SOL. And depending on how hot it is, you're not going to be able to leave your dog in the vehicle. We started off in Florida, and it's 8 a.m. and the van's over 100 degrees already. It is a little bit of a hindrance sometimes. He was adopted. He is dog aggressive. He's not good with other dogs, so we can't take him to dog parks. He's not really great off leash. Overall, I don't regret it, and it's worth the extra effort to have him. Van life tips for beginners. If you're able to travel with the seasons, do that. If you're able to do work camping, do that. But van life is not one size fits all, and I think that's what people need to realize before they go into it. Different things work for different people. Your job, the level of income you're expecting to make or that you need to make, your monthly bills, even outside of van life. So do you have student loan debt? Do you have medical debt? Do you have children? You know, what people are like, oh, I live in a van for $1,000 a month. Shout out to Bunny, which is great, but you still have car insurance. If you're not paying in cash for a vehicle, you still have a car note. So for us, we're really living a pretty normal life in the city, except we don't pay rent, we just live in the van. Van life struggles. Well, the number one thing is finding a job, finding a way to make money. So we're not fully nomadic. We're not traveling. It's not this wonderful, whimsical dreamscape all day, every day. During the week, it is very much get up, go to work, go to the gym, work out, get a shower, eat dinner, go to bed. We're still in somewhat of a systematic routine. Now, on the weekends, we're not paycheck to paycheck paying rent anymore, so we do have money to travel or do staycations and go camping and hiking and fishing and get an Airbnb if we want. If you're wanting to live this lifestyle to get ahead, most remote work and most work camping or seasonal work opportunities in this economy are just not going to, they'll pay you enough to survive, but they're not going to pay you enough to really put away money and get ahead. We've only gotten the knock once, maybe twice, but we are pretty self-aware, pretty self-contained. We're very discreet. Our van itself is not discreet. It's a giant green van with an AC unit and a roof rack and an awning, and it's pretty obvious that this is a self-built camper style van. You need to move around, and when you're parking at night, get there late, leave early. Don't have all of your stuff outside of your van. You go there, you go to bed, you keep the lights off, and that's it. Try and be discreet, honestly. A lot of Walmarts and Cracker Barrels are starting to crack down on overnight parking, especially on the West Coast. A lot of West Coast rest areas say you can only sleep here for 3 hours, then you need to move on. Florida, I would say definitely don't even bother trying to do van life there. It's gotten really bad, really aggressive towards van lifers. In Tennessee, apparently it's a felony to sleep in your vehicle now. Van build. I did not build this van out myself. Me and Andrew aren't handy. Okay, we're not handy. That's not our skill set. And we're not hobbyists that get super nerded out on, let's build this thing for our van. Honestly, moving forward, I don't think we're ever going to do our own van build. I just don't ever have the desire. Andrew doesn't have the desire. We bought this. Someone else built it out. Luckily, they did a really good job. If you buy used builds from other people, a lot of the times you're just taking on their hack job DIY nightmare, so I'd be really careful of that. How to stay warm in the winter. So like I said in the beginning, if you can travel seasonally, that's going to be your best bet. If you're stuck in one singular location, Godspeed. You know, if you do a self build, a lot of people do insulate them better than a lot of mid-grade RVs or travel trailers these days, which is kind of comical, but you're going to need insulation. You're going to get a lot of moisture and condensation, which can lead to mold. So you're going to want those like damp rid, or I get this off-brand and the beads don't spill out, but it's those silica beads and they collect all the moisture. Thermal clothing, a below zero sleeping bag. You can get a Mr. Buddy heater. I have one. It works, but you have to keep the van really clean and organized and make sure nothing's touching the heater, or else it could start a fire. As far as carbon monoxide poisoning, I have a carbon monoxide detector. You should have a fire alarm, carbon monoxide detector, fire extinguisher in your build. That's just good basic safety. But you're going to have to crack a window. So if it's super cold out and it's snowing, there is still somewhere in your van that there has to be a window cracked for, you know, circulation. Also, the bad thing about the Mr. Buddy heaters, the propane releases moisture in the air, so it's just going to perpetuate the condensation and the moisture problem. You can get a diesel heater. Some people call them Chinese heaters. They are much, much more involved. There's an exhaust. It's more like a permanent fixture in your van, so you're going to need to have a special place dedicated to it. You're going to have to install it. They also can be dangerous. User error. If you don't know what you're doing, yes, it can be dangerous to use these items. We looked into a diesel heater. Where we currently live, it's really only cold December, January, and even then, it's not heavy snowfall. It's not worth the investment and taking up real estate in our van to install a full-on diesel heater. This winter, we're actually looking into renting a month-to-month property for December and January, just to avoid moisture in here, just to make sure Gunner's safe. He's a senior dog and he does not do well with cold. We're lucky that we have the luxury of affording a rental situation just for a month or two. And this isn't a competition. I don't know why some nomads or van lifers, it's like, you're bailing or you're a sellout if you, and I'm like, dude, this isn't like some type of survival competition, okay? I just don't want to waste money on rent, and I want to be happy and comfortable, and that's really what van life should mean to you. Don't let someone else define what van life means to you. I hope that all of this was helpful, and let me know if you have any further questions. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and as always, don't get bamboozled.